Hello, hello. Welcome back to another series of the Self Doubt Project, Healing Through Conversations. I am your host, Shayna McGregor, and today we have my friend Imani with us. I'm so excited. The reason I started this project is because self doubt is so prevalent in our society, in my communities, with my friends, and I just wanted to have more conversations about it. Talking about where does it come from, talking about also how can we work through it, and why does it hold some of us back, and some of us are able to work through it. So that's essentially the conversation we're going to be having today. She has no idea what I'm going to ask her, and that's what I love to do. So as I mentioned, my name is Shayna. I am an all-around creative. I'm a professional dancer, certified life coach, and fitness instructor, and I just love having conversations with people. Imani is also a creative, and she's about to host her own podcast. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Imani.
Yes.
I'm 30 years old. I recently decided that I want to start my podcast, finally. It's called Navigating Spaces, Navin, for short, Navin Spaces.
Okay, I love just the title Navigating Spaces because that's so important.
Yeah, because we're all navigating something, right? And the plan is to have different people on my platform of any age, race, background, because I believe that we are more alike than we are different. Just to show that in a way, like everyone is going through something, some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And like, you're not alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So I want to get started with a little icebreaker. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to play a game of this or that.
All right.
Do you like a hot beverage or a cold beverage?
Hot. I'm Jamaican.
Yeah. You already know. Summer or spring?
I like the spring. Love the spring.
Okay. Cabin in the woods or house by the beach?
Oh, that's a good one. House by the beach. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us that sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pancakes or French toast?
Pancakes. I make a wicked pancake.
Oh, you make it wicked. Okay.
Yeah.
Pancakes or waffles?
Okay. All right. That's a good one. I really want to start making waffles.
Okay. But once you get that press.
Yeah, it's over.
It's easy.
That's what I want to get. So that's a tough one. Like, I want to say waffles, but I haven't gotten there yet. But I love waffles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pick one.
Waffles. Okay, yeah.
One more. French fries drowned in tartar sauce or tater tots drowned in horseradish sauce?
What? Wait, say that again. You said French
fries drowned in tartar sauce or tater tots drowned in horseradish sauce?
Tater tots. I'm gonna say French fries drowned in tartar
sauce.
Cause I don't really like what was the other one?
Horseradish.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the game. Okay, so do you struggle with self-doubt?
Oh yeah. Like even starting this project of navigating spaces, I'm like, oh my God, like, why is it taking me so long to do this? And it's personal. It's really personal. And like, I feel like everything is coming at me, like the pressure.
The pressure is getting worse.
Everyone's like, hey, when are you gonna start your podcast? Hey, I'd like to be on your podcast. Oh, like let's shoot here. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm like, whoa, what? Who's talking to you? Like, let me figure this out myself. But in a way, God has an interesting way of showing up and placing the right people in your life. Even being here on this is something you decide, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it.
I was like, let's get this going. Let's make it happen.
Right. So it's inspiring for me because I'm like, hey, Shayna just decided, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And the point is just to start. I think I told you, the twins and I, we had that conversation. They were like, just start. Set a date and just start. So I was like, all right, first quarter, I have to make it happen.
Yes.
Because now, again, the pressure is getting worse. So.
Well, where's that pressure coming from? Is it from you or like outside?
Oh, both. But definitely like outside. Because, I can have a thought or a conversation and then I go outside and then someone's like, hey, like I know you want to work on your podcast. Like, I'd love for you to shoot here or have you ever thought about having this conversation? You know, like it's like coming to me.
Right.
And so yeah, that's when I say like the pressure is getting worse, or you know, and time is ticking. You know.
I know, it's like you don't want to feel rushed by time, but then you
Mhm.
just feel this like sense of urgency. But then I'm always
Yeah.
like, is it me placing that urgency on myself?
Mhm.
Is that society? Like, why does it feel like I'm running out of time when maybe we're not? Because that pressure
Right.
just feels a lot. I know when I feel that pressure, I'm like, I just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely. I can feel overwhelmed, especially because like comparing myself to what I see on the internet, I think that's where a lot of the doubt comes from. Because you know, in person, I'm not like everyone I see on the internet, but subconsciously when I'm watching things, I'm like, oh, well, you know, I don't have that lighting, or I don't have a camera like that. You know, should I do it? Can I start? You know, I don't have that many followers. And I have to get out of that mindset, because that's what's stopping me from even starting.
Right, it's like all of these questions, all of these doubts, and then now the date just gets pushed back,
Yeah.
further and further.
Yeah. Right.
But that comparison piece is huge.
Yeah.
I feel like comparison is the foundation or the enemy of a lot of people's self-doubt. Like so much of it. And then we have so much at our fingertips.
Oh yeah.
With social media, like you see what people are doing at a faster or just more intense rate than before. So before, it's like you would create and then you're like, oh, let me just see what people are up to. But now you see it. So before you even get to that creation place, you're already doubting if it's possible.
Yeah.
What does self-doubt even mean to you when you think about it?
Just not starting, like stopping, hindering myself, you know? Like holding myself back.
Yeah.
Not being upfront and like silencing myself in a way, you know? Yeah.
I heard a lot of nots. Like not starting, stopping, silencing yourself. How does that feel for you?
It feels like you're stuck, you know, like debilitating in a way. Like, because again, back to comparing yourself, it's like a rabbit hole on social media, you know?
Right, it's like just like
you can just keep on, keep going. Then next thing you know, you in another country watching their stuff, you know?
and you're like, damn, I started here.
Right.
And now I'm here. But what's consistent is, damn, I don't want to do the thing I want to do anymore.
Right.
And that doesn't feel good.
Right, exactly. You know? So, yeah, you just feel like stuck. Yeah.
Where do you feel like that comes from? Like, can you pinpoint a situation where you feel like you started to really struggle with self-doubt? Or it's just like multiple different occasions? Or is this something like very clearly in your head from like a childhood memory where you're like, damn, I'm starting to doubt myself?
Yeah, definitely from childhood. I think, you know, and I hate to say this, but sometimes our parents could say something and it's a little joke, but
they're not
it's
joking.
not right. It's like their delivery, they can't control the way we react to it. So they would call me Miss Shoulda Coulda Woulda, you know. So like that would like stick with me, you know.
And then they're laughing, and now you're like, wait, what does that mean? Why are they saying that?
Right. You know, and I'm like, dang, like that really like stuck with me sometimes, you know. And it's not that every time I doubt myself, but in times where I am like, crap, like then I think about that, like, and it'll be like, oh, I'm not that, I don't want to be called that, so let me get going, you know, because I don't want to be Miss Shoulda Coulda Woulda, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did they call you that?
I think it was more so on a conflict thing, like defending my little brother, like, oh, I should have did this, I would have did this, and they were like, oh yeah, Miss Shoulda Coulda Woulda, and I'm like, and I wasn't very confrontational.
Right, so you're like, okay, but when you think about it, they were saying it in reference to like something going on with your sibling. They're like, okay, I could have done this. But then it almost like manifests itself into like,
else.
Oh, now I'm procrastinating. Now I'm not going after what I want. Am I shoulda, coulda, woulda?
Yeah.
When it's like, it wasn't even related to you not achieving your goals.
Right.
But then it almost became that.
Yeah.
When you are feeling stuck, does that come to your mind?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Right. Isn't that wild? It's madness. I hate it.
So what do you tell yourself when like Miss Shoulda Coulda Woulda comes up to your shoulder?
Man, you have to just big up yourself, play some music, You know, you just have to big up yourself.
What you playing?
Talk to yourself in the mirror, Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
You know. I'm playing some Nicki Minaj, some Drake. Gotta play the boy Drizzy.
You gotta remind yourself who you are.
Yeah, you gotta look in the mirror. You gotta, hype yourself up sometimes. You know, as crazy as it sounds, like you really have to do that.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all. Like I think it's so important because we're so much noise from society, other people. We have to be sane. Yeah, we have to be the anchor, and sometimes that's part of the anchoring process. And like, what's gonna make you feel powerful? What's gonna make you feel good? Is it music? Is it movement? Is it looking in the mirror, being like, I'm that girl? Yeah, like I'm that. I'll blurt that out. But what is it? Like, what's gonna do that for you? What is that thing that's going to help to remind you? But not only that, how do we now bridge the gap? Because you're like, that thing works. But then we're still feeling down. Like, let's say for you about this podcast. So how do you go from playing the music, feeling like that girl, to now making this shit happen? Like, how do we bridge that gap?
Well, writing things out. Writing things out and holding yourself accountable and knowing who to talk to also hold you accountable. You got people that be like, hey, you said you was going to do this. What's going on with that?
Right, so accountability.
Yeah.
So, with other people, but also with ourselves.
Yeah, again, writing things down and looking back at it, giving yourself a timeline, that definitely helps a lot. And checking in with yourself, again, looking in the mirror and getting to know that person, because we are constantly evolving and changing.
Gosh, yes. I love you mentioned, like, look back at the list, because I feel like we take so many notes. Like, I know I'll be in my phone notes app. How often do you go back and check what you wrote? Whether it's content ideas, goals, things like, check in. The same way you're at a job and you have those quarterly check-ins and you're going through the list to make sure that you're checking off your boxes, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. Same thing with our own things. And then also, like you said, like, check in with yourself. Like, what do I need to make this work? How am I feeling? Because I always say, if you are experiencing doubt, if something is coming up, it's coming up for a reason. So just suppressing it, it's not going to make it go away. Right. But I think that's what we're really scared of. We're like, oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to confront those things.
Yeah, it's hard to reflect, you know, and see yourself sometime. You can see your friend, you can see somebody else, but like to really reflect and like look at yourself is sometimes it could be challenging, but that's why therapy is great,
No, okay, because you're like, girl, what's going on? Do you feel like you feel self-doubt in some areas of your life more than others?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting older, and I'm like, oh my God, like the dating scene is so interesting, because again, it's not just me, but some other people, even worse, I'd say, like with comparing yourself, people aren't being themselves, like they're parroting everything they're seeing on social media. Right. They want to be like this person. Guys want to copy this guy. Girls want to copy this girl. And a guy can meet you and they're like comparing you to someone else, or they think you're supposed to be like this or you're like this, and it's like, no, I'm not like that. Right. I'm me. So like with that, I can be like, is this gonna happen for me? Like, because it's getting a little strange, and I don't go out that much.
Right. So you're like, how is this gonna happen?
How is this gonna happen? Right. I'm like, I don't know where to go. Like, where am I going to go? A club? No. I'm not a clubber. And am I going to find a decent person at a club? So.
Maybe.
Right. Because I'm there.
Right.
I'm there.
And that's what I always say when people say that, was like, but you there, so what are you bringing? And you never know. But I love when you actually, like, is this going to happen for me? Because I feel like sometimes self-doubt also are questions. Yeah. Are like you said, will this happen for me? And sometimes we ask ourselves that. I know if I ask myself that, it's because I really want it. So then the doubt starts to set in, because it's like, will it happen? And then it makes you feel sad when you think about maybe it not happening. But then also maybe it really is just a question and we don't leave it empty. We like answer it. Because how would you answer that for yourself? Like, is this going to happen for me?
And you just got to say, yes, it's going to happen.
We're back. So you were talking just about embracing who you are, leaning into authenticity. Because I feel like this conversation, we're talking so much about comparison. And I think a lot of people are comparing themselves to people who are maybe not even operating in who exactly they are.
Right.
So it's like, how do we embrace authenticity again? Because it's nothing like showing up as you are, or knowing that you got the opportunities that you wanted just as you are, not trying to be a facade of yourself or a mask of some other version of yourself. Like, what do you feel about just like leaning into that?
Just being myself, and not criticizing myself too much.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, again, you see things on the internet, people with like perfect skin or perfect teeth, and it's like, that's not me. But you know what? I'm still worth it. I'm still perfect the way I am.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And not taken away from them. It's like,
right.
That's who they are, whether it's real or not. Like, I don't even want to get into the semantics, but it's like, that's how they look. They look beautiful in their skin. This is what I'm working with. I'm beautiful in my skin.
Right. And embracing myself. And leaning into my support system. You know, I have a great community. Yes, they say, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, and I think we're all still growing.
Okay, every day, little, like, we're not full-fledged, like, perfect beings.
Right, we're still figuring things out.
Yeah.
And I've been so blessed with building a great community of women and some cool guys, of, you know, champions, really, honestly. And they hold me accountable, and they embrace me as I do to them too, right?
Yes, I know. Community is so big, and it's not only having a community, but allowing yourself to lean into your community and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with your community if you can, and looking for that. Because if you don't have that, it's so important to find, because we're not perfect. We can't do it all, and I don't think we're meant to do it all.
Right.
But I love how you brought up accountability, because we have accountability with other people, but also with ourselves. So coming back to like your podcast, how do you feel now about taking that next step forward, knowing you have this doubt around the podcast, but also knowing exactly who Imani is and knowing what you bring to the table? Like, how do you bridge that gap?
Just embracing myself, you know, like you said, being authentic.
Yes.
Not trying to be like anybody else but me.
Okay.
Because there's only one me.
Say that again.
Right? Not trying to be anybody else but me, because there's only one me.
There's only one you. Yeah.
Right.
And no matter how much we compare, no one could do it like us.
Right.
Nobody is who we are.
Right.
And that's what makes the world magical. That's what makes all the different content we see so magical. If you can tell your younger self anything, what would you tell her?
I would say don't listen to them people. You know?
Don't listen to them people.
Don't listen to them people. Embrace yourself. You are beautiful. And it gets better. You know?
It gets better.
It gets better.
Sometimes we need that reminder when we're younger. It gets better.
Yeah.
What would you tell your future self?
I'd say I'm very proud of you. Yeah.
I love that. Because sometimes we need to hear that when we're in the thick of it, of like, what's going on? What does this mean?
Yeah.
And just that reassurance from within, like, I'm proud of you. No matter what decision you make, I know you're doing your best. And I'm proud of you for that. Any last thoughts?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. You know, you are a true inspiration. You really are. Like, the fact that you just decided, I'm going to start this. And
I was like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but we going to do it.
Right.
Because I have something to say, and I want to say it.
Yeah. Again, it's like the universe putting the right people in your life at the right time for the right reasons.
The universe wants to see us win.
Yeah.
And I think when we just show up fully, show up vulnerably, show up authentically, it wants to see us win, and things happen.
Yeah.
Bad things happen, but good things, stop fighting it.
That's that
like I always
doubt.
say, exactly, instead of what's the worst that can happen, like what's the best?
Right.
It's like you go to that event by yourself, but then you meet someone new.
Right.
And it's like scary as hell to go by yourself, but then look what's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Like, keep thinking, what is on the other side of this courage? What is on the other side of me believing in myself, trusting myself? Thank you, girl. I'm so happy we did this.
Thank you.
Yes. This will be episode 2 of my self-doubt project, Healing Through Conversations. I just want to keep talking to my people because I know we all experience it. We all are working through it. And the best way to heal is sometimes to just talk about it. See you soon. Bye.